Let's check in now with Robbie, live from Notre Dame Stadium for some game time headlines and the circumstances surrounding the Notre Dame starting quarterback. Robbie?
Yeah, they announced in the press box just a few moments ago that Tommy Rees, the junior, will make his 18th career start at Notre Dame. Technically the backup quarterback this year, but he was the starter last year, so BYU better believe they'll treat him like a starting quarterback. No matter what, they just can't let him throw for 6 touchdowns and over 400 yards like Brady Quinn did on this field back in 2005.
Following his 2 seasons at BYU, Todd Watkins continued his career in the National Football League, where he is currently a member of the New York Giants. But with the NFL in a lockout, Watkins traded his football for a soccer ball for one day this spring with the BYU men's soccer team.
It had been a decade since BYU last visited the islands for a football game, and it was a much different result. The Cougars finished the regular season with a win and now head back to the Lone Star State to play in the Armed Forces Bowl with a chance at a 10-win season. Saying aloha from Aloha Stadium in Honolulu, Hawaii, Robbie Bullough, BYU TV Sports. The 2010-2011 NCAA basketball season was the year of the Jimmer.
Right side. Williams has him. Jimmer long. He got it! Right side! Wow! Outside the NBA three-point line. Into Jimmer with 4 and with 3 and with 2. Jimmer from 40 feet. Got it! He got it! He's 40 feet away near the timeline. Now Jimmer sizing up Moss. Oh no. Oh yes! Oh yes! A 30-footer for Jimmer Fredette! The switch has Billy White on Jimmer Fredette. Fredette goes between the legs on Billy, crosses him over, steps back and pops a 3 on him, and he got it. Jimmer Fredette gives the Cougars the lead. Billy White, what are you going to do? Hand back to Jimmer. Jimmer, another one. Yes!
Oh, no.
Another three-pointer! He's doing it again! Jimmer Fredette, 47 points. Ties the season-high, second greatest scoring night all-time for Jimmer. Jimmer stops middle of the lane, puts it up, and he gets it to go! He gets it to go! The record setter, the legend, Jimmer Fredette!
Jimmer Fredette was the consensus National Player of the Year and finished his career as the all-time leading scorer in BYU history. Jimmer was a lottery pick in the NBA draft as the 10th overall selection. He awaits the end of the NBA lockout to begin his career with the Sacramento Kings. Jimmer shined, but he wasn't the only star in the sky. Fellow guard Jackson Emery stole the limelight as well, literally, leaving BYU as the greatest thief the Marriott Center's Supreme Court has ever known. Jimmer and Jackson led the Cougars to a school record 32 wins and their first trip to the Sweet 16 in 20 years. In its final season in the Mountain West Conference, BYU won its 4th regular season title in 5 years. The Cougars exit as the winningest team in conference history. It was a special season for a special team with a special player. BYU basketball now turns the page to a new chapter in history, but the legend of the Jimmer will continue to live on in the hearts of Cougar fans forever. Robbie Bullough, BYU TV Sports. The University of Texas is well recognized as a college football powerhouse. 4 national championships, 7 top 10 finishes in the last 10 years, and the winningest coach in college football over the past 2 decades. After a disappointing 5-7 season snapped a streak of 12 consecutive bowl appearances, the Longhorns started fresh with a 34-9 win over Rice to open the 2011 season last weekend. Zach DeFrancis was BYU's leading goal scorer, with 3 goals in the previous 4 games. He was en fuego until the 38th minute against the Fresno Fuego, with just 3 more games remaining in the 2009 season.
Gutierrez tried to shield DeFrancis, and down he goes.
Zach is screaming, he's yelling, "I broke my arm, I broke my arm."
Honestly, I remember everything.
Now, a year later, Zach still thinks about that day and is grateful that he can use his right arm.
Seeing this x-ray, it just brings back the whole experience. It brings back all of the healing time and months of not being able to use my hand or fingers or wrists or anything.
Just 1 year after what could have been a career-ending injury, Zach is back with full use of his right arm. Everything changed with the 1942 season. With the world at war, fellow assistant coach Wayne Soph and head coach Eddie Kimball both enlisted in the Navy, leaving Floyd Millett all alone to coach the team. In the decades that have followed, BYU has defeated Utah in some unforgettable rivalry matchups. But in the midst of conflict abroad and heavy hearts at home, the 1942 team forever holds the distinction as the first to ever beat Utah.
As a photographer, Mark Philbrick has covered all of BYU's bowl wins, many of which are highlighted on the memorable victories posters here in LaVell Edwards Stadium, including BYU's first win in the 1980 Holiday Bowl.
McMahon all the way back in his own 46, throwing for the end zone. Receivers are there, defenders are there. It is in the end zone. Who has the ball? Touchdown! Touchdown!
Whether distant memories of decades ago or fresh recollections of recent years, Mark's artwork continues to blanket the walls of LaVell Edwards Stadium and the hearts of Cougar fans worldwide.
Final play of the game, barring a penalty, all the time in the world for Beck. Can anybody get open for him? He'll roll right, lets it go, finds this guy, touchdown!
And then, of course, the shot that set all that up is, when he makes that catch over Wendell, just great with Harleen there. So those kind of shots, football and shooting athletics we work really, really, really hard to be in the right place, have the right equipment, and have the right timing and have everything. We work really hard to get there, and then we wait for luck.
For the first time since 2008, the BYU men's volleyball team opened the season as the #1 team in the land, thanks in large part to sophomore sensation Taylor Sander.
The question on everybody's mind is, are you Iron Man?
No, I'm not. I'm Taylor Sander.
Sander, yes! The Sandman! Ace from Sander! Sander! Holy cow! Sander again! He will not be denied!
The Huntington Beach, California native was heavily recruited out of high school by half a dozen of the top volleyball programs in the country. Ultimately, he left the warm, sunny beaches of Southern California for the snow-capped mountains of Utah.
You've been to our games. The crowd is amazing. I'd say I was pretty set on going to BYU. It's been one of my dreams for basically my whole life. My parents have always pushed me to be a supporter of BYU sports, and being a member of the church, it was a little bit easier than I thought it was going to be.
As a freshman, Taylor made an immediate impact. The Mountain Pacific Sports Federation crowned him Freshman of the Year, and the American Volleyball Coaches Association named him a second-team All-American. The second-ranked Cougars were poised for a run at the school's 4th national title. It seemed all they needed to do was protect their home court during the MPSF tournament to earn one of 4 bids to the NCAA championships. But facing 7th seed UC Santa Barbara in the quarterfinals, BYU's season culminated the way it began, on an empty court in the Smithfield House, their one and only home loss of the season.
We kind of had a choke against Santa Barbara, but I feel this year we're a lot stronger and ready to try and win a national championship.
Taylor spent his summer off-season preparing for a national championship run by competing on the U.S. junior national team. The Americans placed 4th, their highest finish ever at the FIVB World Championships in Brazil. Taylor led the team in kills in every match.
I got to see where I am in regards to how good other players are in the country and in the world, actually. I think those reps that I took over summer really helped me and will carry on into this season.
As one of the most powerful hitters on the nation's #1 team, Taylor has high aspirations at just 19 years old.
I'd say to win a national championship with the guys right now, and also to play on the Olympic team. I think that's one of my biggest goals, to represent the USA overseas and just put that name on my back and try and do it for our country.